Welcome to Alice Just Alice 55. You're listening to an AI-narrated audiobook version of my original story, The Unclaimed Werewolf, an Unbound Wolves novel, written by Alice N. Smith. Chapter 41, Where Blood is Named. Morning arrived without answers. They had talked until the fire burned low and the den grew cold at the edges, circling the same problems again and again until exhaustion dulled even Nora's anger. Every path they explored bent back to the same two dead ends: choose a mate or defy the council outright. Neither option sat easily, and by the time dawn filtered weakly into the den, they had nothing resembling a plan. Nora stood near the entrance, arms folded, watching the tree line. The remaining suitors waited where they had been left, subdued now, wary of pushing their luck further. Eamon paced, unable to still himself. Brooks leaned against a nearby tree, quiet and thoughtful, eyes sharp. "They should have arrived by now," Eamon muttered. "They like making people wait," Nora replied. "It reminds them who they think is in charge." She felt the moment before anyone appeared, an old instinct stirring low in her chest. She straightened, gaze snapping to the trees. The figure that emerged was not the council representative. Halvar stepped into the clearing with the careful weight of someone who had traveled far without rest. His shoulders were drawn, fatigue etched deep into his face. He looked tired, bone deep tired. Eamon stopped pacing. "Father?" The word was out before he could stop it, sharp with disbelief. He crossed the space between them in 3 strides. "What are you doing here? Is something wrong?" Halvar's eyes softened briefly before hardening again. "Yes," he said. "Several things." Nora watched the exchange closely. The resemblance was impossible to miss now. The same eyes, the same stillness beneath motion. Something cold and heavy settled in her stomach. She stepped forward. "You're Eamon's father." Halvar turned to her fully for the first time. Whatever he saw in her face made him draw a slow breath. "Yes," he said, "and if you'll allow it, I would like to speak." Nora inclined her head. "You're welcome here." That seemed to cost him something. He nodded once in thanks. "There's a story you all deserve to hear," Halvar said. "One I've just confirmed beyond doubt." He paused, gaze flicking briefly to Nora before looking away again. "Years ago," he began, "my wife died in childbirth." The air seemed to tighten around them. "She was traveling. The birth came early. I wasn't there," Halvar continued. "She gave birth to 2 children. My son survived." His gaze shifted briefly to Eamon before returning forward. "I was told my daughter did not." Nora felt the world tilt. Before anyone could speak, a new presence pressed into the clearing like a blade sliding between ribs. "Well," a smooth voice said, "this is touching." The council representative stepped forward, expression pinched with irritation. "But unnecessary." Nora's hands curled into fists. "This farce ends now," the representative continued. "You will choose from the remaining 3 suitors now, or the council has authorized the confiscation of this territory for council use." The words rang out like a verdict. Rage flooded Nora's vision, hot and blinding. Brooks pushed away from the tree. Eamon moved instinctively closer to her side. "You will not threaten me in my own land," Nora said, voice shaking with fury. Halvar stepped forward before she could move further. "I will not tolerate this," he said quietly. The council representative scoffed. "And who exactly do you think you are?" "Someone who has sat where you sit," Halvar cut in. "Someone with allies you would rather not test. and someone who will see this as an act of war if you apply one more ounce of pressure. Silence fell like a held breath. Do you want a divided council? Halvar asked. Do you want werewolf blood spilled over a power play this small? The representative's expression tightened. Why would you risk everything for this? Halvar didn't hesitate. I would do absolutely anything for my children, he said. His gaze shifted, steady and unmistakable, to Nora. My son, he continued, and my daughter. The words landed with the weight of truth long denied. Nora felt the ground steady beneath her feet, not because the danger had passed, but because something fundamental had finally been named. And nothing, she realized, would ever be simple again.